Beautiful mamas, I see you. I see how tired you are and you're exhausted. You're slumped over. You're just not able to put one foot in front of the other. You feel like you are running on empty again. And I've been there so many times. Have I been there too? Raising young children and teenagers is exhausting. I'm Debbie Page. I'm your host, and I'm also the founder of what I like to call Mama Joy 360. And today I'm going to share something with you that can help bring back that energy, even in the middle of the day when you've got that slump, or at the end of the day, that slump that you feel or you have. It's a simple 90-second practice, and I tell you, this is going to change how you feel about things. It will energize you even on your hardest days. But let's be fair, because just think about this. When we are tired and we are exhausted, we don't want anybody to tell us what to do to be energized. We don't want to energize ourselves, and we don't want anybody to tell us. But I really would love for you to put this into practice. Do it for a week and then report back to yourself, to your best friend, to whomever, to me. Report back and let me know, did it make a difference in your day? You know, as women of faith, we know that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit and that we need to always be taking good care of this body. But it's hard. And especially as we become moms of young children, or those young children eventually become teenagers. And it's hard sometimes to care for ourselves. And what I see is this pandemic of exhaustion that we're seeing, because motherhood can be physically and emotionally draining, both of those. You put both of those together and it's like the perfect storm. And how can you keep going? That mental load of managing everyone's needs. You know, I just think about it. You know, for most of you, you're at some point during the day, you're cooking, or you're packing up things, or you're picking up things, or you're folding laundry, or you're doing laundry, or you're running off to the grocery store. And then you're coming home and you're putting away all the groceries, whatever that you find that you're doing in your day. All of these levels of activities that you're doing, they stack up for the physical exhaustion. But then what about the emotional or the mental exhaustion where mommy, 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 how many times do you hear that? Oh my goodness. It is definitely exhausting. So we're going to talk about something that I think is really beautiful, and it's a way to bring joy into our lives in a very quick manner. The more you practice this, the faster that you'll get it brought about, that joy that I'm talking about. And so this is a thing when you find yourself in this state where your shoulders are slumped forward, your breathing is shallow, you're not smiling, your face is drawn down, your energy is depleted, everything feels harder, patience thins, joy fades, and even our prayer life can feel so distant. But let me tell you, in just 90 seconds, you could physically and emotionally shift from this. You can go from that slumped over, I'm so tired, I can hardly breathe, I just can't keep going, to shoulders back, head up, smile on your face, and you have got this. You are bringing that joy back into your life, back into your body, back into your spirit. So there's this remarkable connection between our bodies and how we experience life, whether it's spiritually or emotionally. It's our physical movements that really make a difference in this. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about every time you catch yourself, and the more you do this, the sooner and the faster you're going to catch yourself. Every time you catch yourself, think Mama Joy 360, and this is what I want you to do, because this is going to increase the oxygen to your brain, and it's going to really revolutionize the way that you feel at any given moment. Because you know what? When we start getting more oxygen to our brain, we're releasing those incredible mood boosting endorphins, and we're lowering our stress hormones, and we're activating our body's natural system. Our our system to restore itself, which our body has the ability to do in so many ways and so quickly. So if you think about all the different ways that people have expressed their energy, increase their energy, and increase their joy, dancing is one of the ways. If you look at a lot of the cultures around the world, dancing is a very important part. Even jumping up and down or twirling around, all these different things that we can do. I mean, if you watch children, this is the way they go through their day. They do not go from point A to point B. They go from A to C to D to Z to S. They're just all over the place. And what they're doing when they're doing that is they're constantly restoring their energy and their emotional well-being. They don't recognize that, but that's what they're doing. And I love it because they are doing it constantly. We as moms, we are moving a lot of times, unless you find yourself so tired that you're just flopped down on the sofa. But that's where this Mama Joy 360 comes in. And I love to call it this 90-second joy circle. And it really will transform you. I've used it for I don't know how many years now, and it transforms me every time I do it. One thing, it makes me giggle. So think about it. Okay, so think about, you may even be folding your laundry right now. That's totally fine. Whatever you're doing, as long as you're not driving, and believe me, I have even incorporated tiny little bits of this when I'm driving, not taking my hands off the wheel, or my eyes off the road. But what I want you to do is I want you to stand up. I'm not going to do it right now because it'll take me completely out of the camera. And I want you to take a deep breath and breathe in through your nose. And let it out. And when you let it out, don't be afraid to make a sound when you let it out. If you want to, you can set a timer. You do not have to do that, because this is going to take you about 90 seconds, depending on what you're thinking about when you do it. So what you do is I want you to fold forward gently. So just bend yourself down. When you're standing, it'll be easier. You could actually touch your toes. Come back up, arms up. Every time you raise your arms up like this, you are reducing the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And then do it again and go back down. Just let your arms hang like a rag doll. Back up again, arms up. Nice deep breaths where you're breathing in through your nose. You're exhaling through your mouth. You're feeling that stretch in your arms. And when you bend over, you're feeling that stretch in your lower back and in your legs. You're letting your head hang heavy, and you're releasing the weight of everything you're carrying. Now, keeping your feet planted on the ground, begin to circle slowly. Just circle around. You can go to the left or to the right. It makes no difference. Just circle around and then change directions. Circle the other direction. Circle around, circle around. And what you're doing is your body's rising, your arms are extending. You're extending overhead. You're standing tall. You feel that expansion in your chest and the opening of your heart. It is amazing because when we stand up tall, it definitely expands our chest. It opens up our gut so the digestion takes place better. And we're getting more oxygen to every little cell in our body. It's a really 360-degree movement. You can do this. You can take 3 power breaths while you're doing it. So you can go, lost count. I don't know if that was 3 or 4. Remember, it doesn't matter the amount of time this is taking you. You don't have to count. You don't have to time it. You're just getting things flowing in your body. You're getting the oxygen flowing. You're getting the blood flowing. You're just relaxing everything. You're decreasing your cortisol. One more deep breath. Now shake it all out. Shake it 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 out. And you know what? The kids love to do this too. I do it with my grandkids. Do it with the kids. They will feel better too after they do it. Just shake your body, wiggle, shake your booty, Shake your arms and your legs and your head, and you're releasing tension. And finally, smile. I want a big smile, even when you don't feel like it. Hold that smile for 5 seconds. Ah, yes. Now I feel better. Don't you feel better? Do you feel different than you did 90 seconds ago? And you know what? After my second child was born, I hit this wall of exhaustion. My older child was 17 months old. I had a C section because of a breech presentation. And it's, of course, more exhausting to go through major surgery than it is to go through childbirth. I'm not saying that childbirth isn't exhausting. I know that it is too. But I just hit a brick wall. I was like, oh my gosh, the coffee wasn't getting it, nothing. I was going through the motions with my kids and I was feeling completely depleted. And one day I was sitting on the kitchen floor and I was actually crying. I mean, the older child had spilt milk, and I don't normally cry over spilled milk, but I was so tired I was crying. Then I started really, I just felt convicted. I thought, oh, wow, how am I treating my body? What am I doing? And what can I do to really energize my body just in a split second? That's when I started thinking about this and just started doing these movements. And at that point, I wasn't calling it the Circular Joy or the Mama Joy 360. I call it that now. But I started doing that. I said, I'm going to really commit to doing this 3 times a day. Well, it made a huge difference in the way I was feeling. And it also was allowing me to get a better sense of how I was feeling and how tired I was. This is not going to substitute for all the rest that you're going to need, especially after you've had a baby or after you've had major surgery. But it will revitalize that energy in the middle of the day, at the end of the day. And while you're doing these circle movements, and you can turn yourself all the way around, which I like to do, I want you to think of something. Think of something you're grateful for. Look at something. Look at something. As I look forward right here, I see my sign that I love so much that says, where focus goes, energy flows. So focus on something that you can be grateful for. It may be the color of the walls. There was a time when my kitchen, I absolutely loved the color so much that I was always joyful when I was in the kitchen. And so the other thing too that really helps me tremendously is to speak a truth while I'm doing all of this. And my truth that I hold on to and I say over and over again is, this is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Pick something that you know by heart and you can say it so quickly and so easily. So next time that you're feeling so exhausted and no joy, you're all slumped over, stand up, hold your shoulders back and your head up. Start to do your circle movements. Give yourself that Mama Joy 360 and hold on to a truth and find things that you can be grateful for. So I hope that you enjoyed today. I really want you to recognize how quickly you can change your state from being one of slumped over, almost depressed, totally exhausted, to being one who is upright, joyful, and finding things to be grateful for. So, this is Debbie Page, your host. And I think it'll be on Friday. Until Friday, I want you, oh beautiful mamas, to keep shining. And think about this. If you need somebody to help you get beyond the exhaustion and get yourself into a more consistent state of joy, I'm the person to go to. I've coached moms for years, for decades, and I love helping moms get from the point of being exhausted to finding joy in their life again. Just click that link below and we will get in touch with you so that you can join our coaching program. In the meantime, have a glorious day.